Tony Stark was a genius, a billionaire, and heir to Stark Industries, a powerful weapons manufacturer founded by his father, Howard Stark. Living a life of excess and charisma, Tony was the face of the military-industrial complex, celebrated for his brilliance and envied for his fortune. But beneath the showmanship and sarcasm, he remained unaware of the devastating consequences of the empire he had built. While demonstrating Stark Industries' latest creation, the Jericho missile, in the mountains of Afghanistan, Tony enjoyed the spotlight in front of US military brass. His charm was magnetic, his ego unshakable. But moments later, his world shattered. The convoy transporting him was ambushed by insurgents. Soldiers were killed, and Tony was hit by shrapnel, some of it from one of his own company's weapons. He blacked out as a missile bearing the Stark logo exploded in front of him. When he awoke, he was in a dark, makeshift cell. A crude electromagnet had been implanted in his chest, connected to a car battery, preventing shrapnel from piercing his heart. The man who saved him was Yinsen, a fellow captive and scientist. The terrorists, a group called the Ten Rings, had a demand. They wanted Tony to build them a Jericho missile. But Tony, weakened, disoriented, and furious, knew that if he complied, he would only prolong his own execution. Instead, he and Yinsen secretly built something else. Using scraps from destroyed Stark weapons, they designed a suit of armor, crude but powerful, fitted with flamethrowers and rocket boosters. While imprisoned, Tony was confronted with the ugly reality of how his creations had empowered warlords, caused suffering, and taken lives indiscriminately. It was a harsh awakening. For the first time, he questioned everything. The day of escape arrived. Tony stepped into the bulky Mark I suit, powered by the miniature arc reactor he had built to keep himself alive. Yinsen bought him time, sacrificing himself to hold off the guards. As Yinsen lay dying, he whispered to Tony not to waste his life. With fire and fury, Tony fought his way out of the caves, torching the camp and launching himself into the sky, only to crash in the desert, miles away from safety. Tony was rescued and returned home, but he was changed. No longer the carefree playboy, he announced that Stark Industries would cease manufacturing weapons. The announcement shocked the world and enraged Obadiah Stane, Tony's mentor and business partner, who feared the company's collapse. Back in his lab, Tony obsessively began work on an improved suit of armor. He refined the arc reactor powering his chest, streamlined the design, and pushed the boundaries of technology. The Mark II suit was sleeker, stronger, capable of flight, and symbolized a new purpose, protection instead of destruction. Meanwhile, Obadiah had his own secrets. He had orchestrated Tony's kidnapping, hoping to remove him from the company and take full control. Furious that Tony survived, Obadiah began pursuing the armor technology for himself. When he discovered Tony's arc reactor, he forcibly extracted it from Tony's chest, leaving him to die. Weak and barely breathing, Tony crawled to retrieve his original reactor, the one Yinsen helped build. With the flickering glow of that crude device, he reignited his fight. Donning his final suit, the Mark III, painted in red and gold, Tony soared through the night skies. He intercepted terrorists, dismantled their weapon caches, and rescued civilians. He wasn't a soldier. He was something else. Something new. But Obadiah, using recovered scraps from the desert, had built his own massive suit, the Ironmonger. He confronted Tony, exposing his betrayal. They clashed in the heart of Stark Industries, steel against steel, machine against machine. Outmatched in brute force, Tony lured Obadiah to the arc reactor powering the building. With the help of his assistant Pepper Potts, he overloaded the reactor. The surge incinerated the ironmonger, ending the threat. In the aftermath, Tony was pressured by government agents to keep the truth secret. They prepared a cover story, calling him a bodyguard. But in front of reporters and the world, Tony Stark looked down at his notes, paused, and smirked. "I am Iron Man." And with that, the age of heroes had begun. With this, the incredible movie comes to an end. To enjoy more such amazing films or to learn about their stories, stay tuned to Anik Alveen Movie Summary channel. Subscribe and stay with us. Wishing you all the best, I take your leave now, inviting you to join us again in the next video.